I feel like they, with the amount of picks that they have available to trade, with some of the young guys they have available, with the salary that they've got that they can trade, I mean, they could construct any number of trades to make that work. I think, why would that be enticing for Giannis? I think if he looks at it, Giannis has to look at it, and I guess this should have been like a prelude to the discussion. Like, he has to understand that, like, Milwaukee with no assets, like, they are going to send him to the highest bidder. So they are not in a position to be doing him any favors, because every move they've made over the last 5 years that's put Milwaukee in this spot has been done to appease him. So they can't now send him to someplace else and say, we're going to take 40 cents on the dollar. So they need to go to the highest bidder. And so what's difficult for Giannis is that he has to look at it and say, well, where am I going to go where this team isn't completely gutted by the time they make the trade? So, I mean, if you look at, like, when Durant asked for a trade from the Nets, like, they were asking for outlandish prices the first time, because they didn't want to trade him. So that, I mean, there were reports that they were asking for Anthony Edwards and Towns and draft picks, for a guy who's in his 30s. So, I mean, like, obviously you're not getting that, which is why he wasn't traded. But I mean, you have to look at it from Giannis's standpoint, like, okay, I'm going to go to a team. What does that team have left once I get there? Because if his goal is to win a championship, he's got to go somewhere where that's still viable. When I look at it from Houston's standpoint, like, I mean, we talked about Şengün. I mean, that's like a huge piece there. And you would say, well, why would Houston do that? Well, because Giannis would basically be like a de facto center. They would play and occupy a similar part of the floor. And so that would be a big get from Milwaukee. Plus, you could trade, Reed Shepherd. You could part with the Suns picks. Like, you could build a package around that. Or you could keep Şengün and trade more picks. And maybe you're trading Jabari Green and Jabari and Smith. And maybe you're keeping Shepherd, but maybe you're trading Landale for salary purposes. And maybe you're trading 6 first-round picks. I mean, there's just a number of different ways that they could construct it to get where they need to go while still keeping Amen Thompson, which I think is what they want to do. Now, is it possible that they say to Milwaukee, like, because Amen Thompson's not a shooter, like, we'll trade you Amen Thompson, but we're not going to part with all this other stuff because of how good Thompson looks? Maybe, I have no idea. I'm not, again, I wouldn't have thought Luka would get traded. So I don't know that anybody is really ever off the board. So, I mean, just because Thompson looks like the next coming of a really good young player, he still has questions around whether he's going to be able to shoot at any point. Already a great defender, great athlete, good passer, all that. But I like the packages that Houston could put together, and I think it would be desirable for Giannis. I know all the rumors that he wants to go to a big market, but, like, look, you go to Texas, there's no state income taxes. So, I mean, like, I think there's advantages there. You're going to a team that's already got a good coach in place. They've got flexibility to put this roster in a number of different directions. So I think that for me, that would be like the clear number one from his standpoint, because he also wants to be able to win. So, I mean, if that's why he's leaving, like, if he just wants to go to New York or LA and he doesn't care about winning, you could make packages from those teams too. But I mean, I feel like Houston gives him the best chance to go forward, win titles, and retain a lot of what's still there.